Chapter 18. The Camera Obscura. "Welcome to the observatory, my place," Simon said, for a moment letting himself slip into the role of the older brother showing off to his sister. "Come inside and take a look." Jenna stepped through the archway and a terrible feeling of dread came over her. She stared into the gloom. The place felt chill and eerie. Jenna knew that there was something dark in the air. Despite the best efforts of the glow-grubs, Jenna could make out very little apart from a huge white circle, which glowed like the moon and seemed to float above the floor. Simon pushed her toward the circle, but Jenna resisted. "Oh, come on," said Simon, propelling Jenna forward and confusing her by sounding like his old self for a moment. "You'll like this. All kids do." "I'm not a kid," said Jenna. "I'm—" Yeah, I know. You're Miss Princess High and Mighty. Well, you'll like it anyway, whatever you are. I'll uncover the lens, and then you'll see it. My camera obscura." A chill shot through Jenna. Where had she heard those words before? Surely that horrible boy, Dom Daniel's apprentice, had boasted about having a camera obscura. A strange noise came from far above Jenna's head. She glanced up and could just make out a tall domed roof with a long wooden pole hanging down from something in the middle. What was it? Suddenly Simon snapped. "Stop daydreaming and look at the dish." Jenna looked down at the huge white circle before her, and to her amazement she could see a finely detailed picture of the ravine she had just traveled through. "Good, huh?" Simon smirked. "Better than all that witchy rubbish old Zelda did. This, little sister, is the real world." Jenna knew he was talking about the night the Heaps had all stood on a rickety bridge and seen themselves reflected in the light of the full moon, while Aunt Zelda, a white witch, had asked the moon to show them the family of a small boy soldier, boy 412. Jenna decided it was wiser to say nothing. Simon took hold of the pole, and he began to walk slowly around the white dish. The pole moved with him, and far above their heads a thin creaking noise began as the lens that focused the scene onto the white dish of the camera obscura began to turn through a full circle. As it turned, the scene before them changed, and despite herself, Jenna was entranced. She had never seen anything like it before. The picture was bright and intricately detailed, but strangely silent. "So you see," Simon said, moving very slowly to allow Jenna to take in the changing scene before her, "you can have no secrets from me. I can see everything. I can see the castle, I can see your precious palace, and I can even see Mad Marcia in the wizard tower with that upstart apprentice who thinks he's my brother. I see it all." Jenna stared at the scene. It was beautiful, but everything was very small and far away. She didn't really understand how Simon could see everything. In the distance, beyond the Badlands and the farmlands, she saw the castle outlined against the setting sun. As she stared at the image, she saw seagulls flying silently across the sky, and boats moving slowly up the river. Jenna could just about pick out the palace by its wide green lawn stretching to the river, and all at once she felt a terrible longing to be home. "Want to have a closer look?" asked Simon with a sneer. "Want to see how much they're missing you?" Jenna did not answer, but Simon opened a drawer in the platform under the dish and took out a large brass magnifying glass. He held it above the dish and clicked his fingers and muttered, "Magnify, do descry we that all." Suddenly everything on the white dish jumped in size. "You see," said Simon, "I see everything clearly now. The chief hermetic scribe at the manuscriptorium had it. He collects reverse memorabilia. Reckons that this enlarging glass was owned by the first dark wizard. Do you know who that was, little sister? Have they taught you that in your princess history lessons yet?" Jenna did not respond. She had recently developed Septimus's dislike of even hearing the reverse side mentioned. Septimus had a theory that even by talking about it you could invite it in. "Well, I'll tell you anyway," said Simon. "It was none other than Hotep Ra, the very first extraordinary wizard, the one who brought your precious dragon boat here. Don't look so surprised. So you see, we, the reverse side, are the true inheritors of the castle, and don't go thinking you'll be seeing your precious dragon boat again either, because you won't." Simon chuckled, pleased with the effect he was having on Jenna, who looked white. She refused to meet Simon's eyes and was resolutely staring at the scene on the dish. Simon followed her gaze and turned his attention back to the camera obscura. Then, as though he had thrown a switch, he suddenly became the older brother again. "Good, isn't it?" he said, waving the enlarging glass over the dish, seeking out scenes and making them leap in fine detail. Now, here we have the forest. Ah, there's a boat tied up on the beach where Sam fishes. I miss Sam. Not much else to see in the forest. Too dense. Although at night I can sometimes see the wolverine's eyes. Now, let's go up the river to the castle. Here's old Janet's boatyard. Now, where's my little brother Nico? He came back today with Rupert. Did you know that, Jenna? No, I don't think so. But I did. I saw them coming up the river before I left. And, ah, yes, there's the north gate and that idiot Gringe arguing with that imbecile son of his. Now, where's my Lucy? There she is, sitting by the moat, waiting. But she'll wait for me a little longer. Now, there's the wizard tower. Look at that window there. There's Marcia in her study, and her shadow keeping her company as all good shadows should. See how he watches her every move? Now, let's go somewhere you know well, shall we? Here we are at the palace. Home sweet home, eh? If I am not mistaken, there are my dear misguided parents up on the roof. Are they looking at the sunset, do you suppose? Or are they wondering when their son and heir is going to bring back their little cuckoo? Shut up, Simon, yelled Jenna. I hate you! I hate you! She hurled herself away from the images of Silas and Sarah and raced toward the steps, but Simon was faster. In a moment he had grabbed her and held her prisoner again, but not before Jenna had seen something hidden in the shadows that she really wished she hadn't, a bleached white skull grinning at her from the seat of an ornate wooden throne. I think you have met before, Simon said with a smile. Let me introduce you to the head of my master, Dom Daniel.